You have those dates then, Jonna? Oh,
I do. I'll send that.
okay.
Let me make a note. Okay.
You have those dates then, Jonna?
Okay. Let me pull up my agenda. Let's get this meeting started. Thank you for attending our PTA meeting. We're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. So I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome to our last PTA meeting of the year. I'm sure all of you are very busy with end of year things, so we will try to get through this as quick as possible, but we've made it, and that's exciting. Before we get into our discussion items, I would like to give some recognition to our community. So the first one on my list is Kasha Winkler, who is our staff appreciation chair, staff services chair. I don't know. At this point, I think we've changed it so many times, but thank you so much for all of the work that you put in for Staff Appreciation Week. And thank you to everyone on your team. You guys did an amazing job. So thank you for all the time and effort that you put in for that. Thank you to everyone who donated gift cards to our gift card drive back in April. We were able to collect $550 for Foster Source, which was awesome and much appreciated. Thank you so much to everyone who donated baked goods for our carnival. Our carnival sweet stroll was a huge success, and thank you to everyone who donated their time to the carnival as well. We had a lot of parent volunteers, so that was much appreciated as well. Thank you to anyone who has volunteered this year, whether it's a financial contribution, a baked good, a potluck, anything that you've helped us with. We really appreciate it, and we couldn't do it without you. And I want to give a shout out to my team of PTA board members. This is an awesome team. It's been such a fun year working alongside all of you. I'm so glad most of you are staying. Really sad to see some of us go, but it's been a really fun year. So thank you for dedicating your time and your husband's time and your kids' time, because it's a family affair on PTA. And last but not least, I want to give a huge shout out to Selena Martinez, who is our current treasurer, who is leaving the PTA board this year. She's dedicated 2 years to us, and we really appreciate the time and effort that she's put in. And also to Jessica Miglio, she's our secretary. This was her first year on the PTA, and she's sticking around. She'll be our volunteer coordinator next year, but just not a full PTA board member position. So thank you to everyone. With that, I'm going to let Sabina pass the minutes from our meeting on April 12th.
Did everybody have a chance to review the minutes? And were there any changes that were submitted, or any changes that anybody would like to make now?
Nope.
All right, if there are no changes, then I think we can pass the minutes.
Perfect. I'm going to pass it to Dr. Ehrlich for her principal update.
Hi, everyone. Sorry. Yes, thank you. Like Jonna was saying, thank you so much to Kasha and your committee. Staff appreciation was really great and very much appreciated. Thank you also for all of you, your ongoing just support and partnership throughout the school year. You guys are a very, very important part of what makes Hulstrom. And we all know that, and just want to lift you up and thank you for everything that you do to support the school, support us, support your students. It's really great. We just a couple of congratulations to begin with. So we actually just today did our last staff meeting of the school year, and we always take the time to do some celebrations and things like that. And so just wanted to go through some of the things that we were talking about as a staff. So first and foremost, we had some staff have some big accomplishments at the end of this year. And Chris Gressel, she was named University of Northern Colorado's Outstanding Mentor Teacher of the Year Award. So that's a huge accomplishment, and we were super proud of her. And then we had Gwen Husich, Casey Sloan, and Angela Newberry. They've all completed their GT Gifted and Talented Certificate through the year. So that's great. That's a multi-year program. And so the three of them are just wrapping that one up. As you possibly know, we also won the John Irwin Award again, which is really great and ultimately is about that continued excellence over time. We have wrapped up all of our end of year assessments, and elementary reading, essentially the way that we look at it is a median growth percentile. So that is taking the students based on where they began at the beginning of the year, and then comparing it to those people nationally and even internationally who started off in the same place, and then how did they grow compared to that. So that's that percentile rank. And so anything that's 50 or higher is where we want to be. Elementary reading was at the 66th percentile, which is considered high growth. Elementary math at the 66th percentile, middle school math at the 68th percentile, and middle school reading at the 62nd percentile. I think for us, that's the important piece. So many of our kids are already achieving, but we want to make sure that they're growing every single day as well. And so that's just a huge part of it as well. The other pieces that we were lifting up was just our panorama survey data came back, and it came back really strong. That will come out in this week's newsletter as well. And the most important piece is the students' perception data. So that's 3rd through 8th grade. And just huge increases there, and just the way that kids are viewing themselves, viewing their peers, viewing the learning environment is just really strong. And so for us, that's just a really important voice to have and then to listen to. And then ultimately the other pieces that we just celebrated was we just had a lot of really big accomplishments aligned to our last 5-year plan. So our 5-year plan is actually coming to an end this year, and we've been busy creating our new 5-year plan that will take us through the next 5 years. And so that will also be coming out in the newsletter this week. So it's going to be a pretty dense newsletter, but a lot of really important information with updates, some that are just for next year, like dates like back to school night, conferences, things like that. And then others that are more those long range goals like the 5-year plan. And let me see what other things. Well, today we just had our middle school pep rally, middle school field day, and middle school barbecue. So we just had a lot of fun with the entire middle school today. And it's always just a great time to see them all celebrating one another and coming together as a community, and just kind of leaving the school year on a high note for them. And then next week we will say goodbye to our 8th graders. We'll be sad, but also they are absolutely ready to go. And we are just looking forward to all of those fun end of year activities. And with that, do you guys have any questions?
I don't see any questions, but I will keep an eye on it. And then I also noticed when I was trying to drop a message in the chat, it made me create a channel. So if you're not comfortable with that and you have a Facebook, you can drop a comment or a question into the post sharing the link to the video. But I will keep you posted.
Great. Okay, yeah, keep me posted if you have any questions.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for all of your updates, and thank you for this year. It's been fun.
My pleasure. It's been fun.
All right, we're going to move on to our treasury report and then to our 2023-2024 budget proposal. I'm going to share a quick treasury report from April. So in April 1st, we started at $113,964.82. And at the end of April, April 30th, we closed at $111,549.68. Selena is working on end of year checks, and we'll send them out to everyone who needs a reimbursement as soon as possible. But she wanted to let you all know that she is only on site 2 to 3 times a week. So if you could get those to her as soon as possible and she can get you reimbursed before summer, that would be great. Other than that, there will be a vote going out after this meeting that includes a bylaw amendment for any overages. So let me pull that up really quickly. The bylaw amendment says that this year we had 2 PTA budget overages, one for new family services because 2 new events were added to the calendar, and the overage for that line item was $22.42. And the second was for the talent show to cover shipping costs of the trophies, and that was an overage of $10.97. And we would like to make an amendment to our bylaws to include approval for reimbursements up to 10% of the budget line without a vote. Anytime we go over, even if it's a penny, I have to send a vote out to the full membership and have you vote on those overages. And there's nothing in our bylaws that covers overages as it stands. So we would like to make an amendment to cover that. So that vote will be going out at the end of this meeting. There will be a vote on the proposed 2023-2024 budget, and then another vote I'll talk about after Kimberly shares our budget. But I'm going to let Kim take over. She is our incoming treasurer for next school year, and she's going to share the proposed budget for next school year.
Okay, thank you, Jonna. Let's see. Can you see me or am I still blurred out?
You're black.
I'm black. Hold on. Okay, can you see me now? I think so. I hope everyone had an opportunity to read the email that was sent last week and earlier today regarding the proposed budget, as well as be able to take a look at the spreadsheet and accompanying exhibits. But I will just briefly touch on our proposed budget for the 23-24 school year and open it up to any questions that you may have. There are 3 points that I would like to outline as we take a look at the budget. The first being that we wanted to restructure and report how income and expenses are currently presented on the budget in order to provide full transparency as well as accountability to our members and board. Historically, our top line income has been reported on a net income basis, since most of our fundraising activities and PTA sponsored events have relied on revenues to cover its expenses. The result, we believe, doesn't represent a full picture. So what we want to do going forward is report all income from fundraising activities to any events that may generate income, apparel, etc. We want to be able to report those on a gross revenue basis and also have separate expense line items for our activities such as fundraising and those PTA sponsored events. In doing so, we believe that not only are we going to be fully transparent in how we are in our expenses, but I think that it better informs the board in terms of how we utilize and how we think about our expenditures for the events that we put together. So if you take a look at the budget, it may seem significantly larger than the prior years, but keep in mind that we're now parsing those expenses out and actually showing going forward what those expenses will be or what we have incurred. The second point that I would like to touch on is outlining our expenses and utilizing the PTA surplus, which is over $110,000, and we'll touch on how we're going to utilize that for the upcoming school year. It's important to note that the majority of our expenditures are allocated to school programs and initiatives. This 23-24 school year, the PTA expects to allocate over 75% of its expenses to school-wide programs. And I did provide a chart that breaks out specifically what those programs are A few things to touch on. Of course, we will continue funding elementary and middle school academic programs, teacher grants, and school-wide programs like iSTEM, like Pi Day, etc. We are also increasing our support for library through an increase to purchase new library books and through a special request that I will touch on a little bit later. We are also increasing our support for technology to provide funding for a new tech program, Beast Academy, which was trialed this year. We're also allocating to special requests to provide additional opportunities for our school to bring forward new initiatives and proposals. I think it's also important to show our appreciation to our Hulstrom teachers and staff. So we have actually provided a more robust budget to our teacher appreciation expense. And then most notably, I wanted to just touch on how we're going to utilize through special request a significant portion of the PTA surplus funds. So approximately $30,000 we anticipate committing towards upgrading the library's furnishings and workstations. Mrs. Anderson kindly provided us with an estimate of all of the furnishings that she would like to have replaced in the library. And we believe that those upgrades are meaningful and that they are needed and that they would provide a substantial benefit to the school. A few other things to touch on. We've also increased funding for those PTA-sponsored events, such as the Fun Run and Family Barbecue, which is our largest fundraiser, in conjunction with our flagship kickoff back-to-school event of the year, and also increased funding for Spring Carnival and Holiday Bazaar. These are events that are sponsored by the PTA and that we believe should be attended for free. So rather than paying for tickets as you did for the Spring Carnival this year, those sponsored events will be free to attend in the next school year. As a result, this means that we will be relying solely on fundraising efforts to support all of the PTA's initiatives, whether it's the activities we put together or the academic programs that we fund. So with that, I want to touch on fundraising goals. Since we do have a broad and robust array of programs to fund and support, naturally, our fundraising efforts have also grown. So we hope to raise over $80,000 in the 2023-24 school year. Of course, there are concerns about what would happen if we did not achieve our fundraising goal. How would we fund our expenses? And so we actually conducted analysis of fundraising projections and concluded that if the PTA would be able to meet all of its funding goals, even if it achieved a fundraise between 50 to 75% of its fundraising target, and then draw upon its surplus. And so in doing so, that would leave effectively between 30 to 50% of the surplus in reserve, which is ideally where we would like to be. To be quite candid, I think that the reserves that we have as of right now are too high for a nonprofit. So we are actively seeking to spend down the surplus in the upcoming school year. And that's it for, those are the main highlights to the budget. If you have any questions, I am happy to answer them. And thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Kim. I will keep an eye on the chats for questions, but nothing so far. I'll let you know. So I'm going to send out a vote after this meeting for a funding request for new art stools for Mr. Hedberg. Mr. Hedberg sent us a video showing us how the casters on all of his stools have broken, and they were wheeled stools, and so they've all broken, and he's replaced them with non-wheels just as a temporary fix, and those are all breaking too. And so he's requested to use the remaining amount of PTA special request money, which as of May 1st was $1,311, and then use the income from Carnival which was the remaining $1,643. Those totals added together are the 27,860 not 27,000 $2,786.90, and that is for 32 stools. There's a picture of the stools that he is requesting. They're just basic metal stools, and those should last for 25 plus years. So there will be a funding request coming for that. We talked about the other votes that will be coming. I just wanted to give a shout out to our carnival team, to Jacqueline Garrison, who was our family event chair who planned carnival, and also to Jamie Dorn, the vice president, and to Lisa Weirman, who is our co-family events chair, for pitching in and throwing an awesome carnival. We had a great time, and we hope you did as well. And I'm going to pass it to Kasha Winkler, and she's going to give some updates.
Hello, everybody. First of all, I wanted to thank all my team. It's been lovely working with you this year, and I'm sorry to see some of you go. And I would love to thank my super close team of people who helped to organize Hulstrom Appreciation Week. This is what we decided to call it. It's a Hulstrom Appreciation where every single staff member is being appreciated. We had a really full week, and I couldn't have done it without them. They absolutely went above and beyond with collecting and soliciting the gift cards. So I didn't have to touch on the budget, and we could just spend more money on food and goodies for our staff members. So some of the staff members received upwards of 3 different gift cards. What we did was we started off our week with our wonderful breakfast, and we that was on Monday. On Tuesday we had we delivered a little snack to every single person in school that they pre-ordered from us. Then on Wednesday, what did we do on Wednesday? Oh my goodness, I don't even remember. No, I don't remember, but I remember that Thursday were the goodie bags, and everybody received a $15 gift card to Amazon and a pair of socks. And our theme was movies. Therefore, everybody got a code to Redbox and popcorn and soda. And I hope that everybody enjoyed that. I wanted to say thank you to all our staff members of Hulstrom. You work so hard to make our students' lives better and make them smarter, and you work so hard. And we wanted to thank you from the bottom of our heart. And I think that is it for me, because that was my last event of the year.
Awesome. Thank you, Kasha. I'm going to pass it over to Yasmina, and she's going to talk about our new scholarship program. Sponsorship, not scholarship, sponsorship.
Yes, not scholarship program. Starting next school year, we are launching our sponsorship program. So Hulstrom businesses, we're going to be looking at businesses outside of the Hulstrom community as well, to help, fund our really big fundraising goal. So if you have a business, your family of Hulstrom, please reach out to me. We'll throw this in the chat, fundraising at hulstrompta.org. Or you can text me, I can put that in there as well. And I can send you what we have, but we are starting that for next school year, and would love to see, Hulstrom families take advantage of that. We have such a supportive community, and we think that, it's going to be a really good value add for businesses and for families. So reach out to us if you're interested.
Awesome, thank you. I'm going to see if Sabina is available to talk about summer play dates, because I know we have them scheduled for all the incoming students.
Yes, I'm
Okay.
here. We had the incoming kindergarten meet and greet last week or the week before. And I think all the kindergartners are really excited to come. We did some photo props and they got to meet the teachers for the first time and get some stuff to work on over the summer. As Jonna said, we do have play dates scheduled for all the kindergartners, but then also we're planning on, we have new students coming in each of the grades. And so I'd like to do a play date where each class, like each grade, is going to have an opportunity to meet somebody that's in their existing in their class. So I think I am probably going to be reaching out to a couple of classes, especially middle schoolers. If you have a kiddo that is really open to making new friends or just wants to kind of hang out over the summer, please let me know so that we could try to schedule something for the middle schoolers. I think we've got most of the elementary school classes covered. And I think that's it for me.
Thank you. All right, I'm looking at my list. I don't think anybody else wants to talk. If you do want to talk, let me know. The last thing I want to talk about are school supply kits. We've already sold, I believe the number was 261 kits, which is awesome. We are above sales for last year. But if you want to get a kit, you have to order them by May 25th, and then they will be delivered to back to school night. And you can pick up all your supplies then.
And
yes.
the link will be coming out again in this week's newsletter for that. It's already in there.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. I don't see any more comments. Michelle Fleetis came through. Wednesday was flower sales for Teacher Appreciation Week. But I don't see any other comments or questions. Let me just check Facebook really quick. No, I think we're good. So you guys can have 32 minutes back of your night. Have a great night, and thank you so much for a great year.
Thanks, everyone.